Hey everyone, it's Don with Don's Field of Dreams cards. Wanted to show some cards that I picked up in the last couple weeks to add to my Hall of Fame vintage collection. So I have 5 cards to show you tonight. And some of these cards I've had on my want list for quite a long time. So I'm very happy to be able to add them to the collection. So the first one I'm going to share with you guys is the 1954 Ted Williams, number 1 card in the set. 4.5, as you guys can see here. Looks great in my opinion. Love the photo in the background of Ted. Looks like he's hitting a home run there. The orange background looks really crisp on this card, and it was a card that I really wanted to add to the collection and was afraid that the prices were going to just keep going up, which I'm sure they have in the months since I bought this card. Haven't looked at the prices, but I would assume that they've risen quite a bit. So since I added this card to my collection, I felt I needed its twin brother, or the bookend here. And this is the other 1954 Ted Williams. I tried doing some research on why they made 2 cards for this set, and I really couldn't find a good answer. So if any of you guys know the story behind this, would love to hear it and share it in the comments. So I noticed in some other videos some people getting cards in the 2 to 3 range, and I bought a few of those. And when I saw this one, I was like, how is that card at 2.5? It looks fantastic. You know, the corners are nice. The centering is pretty good. Little off center, left to right here on the back. But overall, a nice card. And I looked at it for a good 5, maybe 10 minutes before I finally figured out the issue with it. And I don't know if I can get it on here. You look like right down here going across the width of the card, there is a crease here. Right there, if you can see it. And I was kind of bummed at first, because that's one thing in the cards. I can live with a little off centering or corner dings, but I really don't like creases. But after looking at it for a while, you know, I'm going to have it on a display case. I don't think you're even going to see the crease unless, like I said, you get right on top of it. There it is. There's a little bit better picture of it. And you know, I still think it displays really well, and I'm just happy to have it in my collection now. So I don't think that crease is even going to bother me, because I can barely see it. The next card I added, I've wanted this in my collection for a long time. It's the 1952 Bob Feller in a 3.5. And ironically, today I was watching Andy's video, Nostalgic About Baseball. He bought the same card in the same grade. His is a little nicer than mine, but I'm still really happy with this. I think those are maybe ruler marks when they were printing them, and the corners have a little rounding. And ironically, even though this is my favorite Bob Feller card, it's the 3rd one I've added, actually 4th one. I forgot about the 56 I have, but I also have the 53 Topps and the 50 Bowman. But I just never found this card in the condition that I wanted. A lot of times they're way off center, left to right, and the price I wanted. So I was really happy to add Bob Feller to my collection. So I had remembered I had bought a book years ago. I don't know if I can fit this in here, on Bob Feller. And when I bought this book, I don't think I even looked through it. And I remember getting it home and opening it up, and lo and behold, it's actually autographed by Bob Feller. So I guess Larry Hadman did not want this book anymore, but it was kind of cool just to see that it was autographed by Bob Feller. So then I added a couple raw cards to the collection that I plan on getting graded down the line, and the first one's this 1951 Bowman Warren Spahn. Another card that had been on my want list for a long time, and just a cool shot of Warren here. Kind of reminds me of like a barn in the background, you know, reminds me of guys barnstorming back in the days, although I'm sure that's probably an outfield wall. But just very happy to add this card to my collection as well. A little bit of staining in the back, but otherwise it's an excellent card. Now the next card I have a little bit of a dilemma about, and I'm going to ask your opinion on this too. So I bought many cards from this seller and had them graded. So he's the one seller that I'm pretty comfortable buying raw cards from. And I've another card that I was on the lookout to add to my collection. But when I got it today, you can see there's some paper missing back here. And I went back to the eBay auction thinking maybe I missed it. And I looked at the photo and it did not look like this when I bought it. And, the seller, I wrote an email to him and they said, just send it back and we'll refund you. But here's my dilemma. For what I paid for this card, I am not sure that I can even touch it with today's prices. And the front looks really, nice to me. So I was wondering, if I send it into grading, I think the most it can get is a 5 with paper loss, if I'm not correct. So kind of wanted your opinion. Would you send it back or would you keep it and not worry about it? I'm kind of leaning towards keeping it. I'm not super worried about what grade it gets because I'm a collector, not an investor. But, would still like it to get a decent grade, I guess. But, I don't know if it's worth the hassle to send it back and then look for another one. And, if I find one that I like and the price that I like, I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to do that. So I'd like to hear in the comments, what you guys think as far as do I keep the card or do I send it back? So I appreciate you guys as always watching my channel and taking a look at my cards and hope everyone's doing well. Take care.